Hi, welcome to 151 Garage. I'm Sean, this is Susan, and we're actually not going to work on her today. We're actually going to work on some tooling I need to fabricate to assist me in building the bed. Now, the top of the stakes I have are designed with a 45-degree angle in them. So I need to be able to break metal at a 45-degree angle for at least 45 inches, which is actually the length of the bed. Now, I can go buy a metal brake and it's going to cost me under $200. But here's the problem is all the metal brakes that are fairly inexpensive, under $200, are under 36 inches in a width. So it doesn't handle any material more than 36 inches. Now, when you go up to, say, 48-inch material that you need to break, those cost anywhere from $500 to $5,000. I mean, the cost can get astronomical. Now, on top of that, it becomes such a large piece of equipment that it takes up a huge floor space in what you might normally see in a small garage. So I don't have room for a giant metal brake that I'm going to use maybe a couple times a year. So I want to be able to make one that is compact. Now, with all the things I want to do with the metal brake, there are some guidelines I want to stay within. Now, I do want to make it, one, at least be able to handle 48-inch wide material. I also want to be able to break anywhere from 16 to 18 or smaller material. So somewhere along that lines. If it breaks 16, perfect. If it breaks 18, just as good. So gauged material. I also want to keep it under $200. Now, if I'm going to spend $500–600 on a piece of fabrication tooling for like metal brake and stuff like that, if I spend that much money building it, I might as well buy it. So I do want to keep it under $200. That's the material, the hardware, the hinges, the wood, whatever I have, it needs to be under $200. The next one is I need to be able to make it with material that you can get from your local hardware store or your local lumber yard. So nothing special order, nothing custom made, nothing you have to wait from Amazon or anything like that. It's go to the store, buy it, bring it home, build it. I also want to be able to make it without welding anything. I do have a welder, but I do want to be able to make it so I can show people that I can actually, or they can actually put the material together without any special tools like a welder or anything like that. So I do have a cutoff wheel. If you do have a grinder, that'll be probably the biggest thing that you'll have to have. Other than that, it's just regular hand tools, cordless drill or a regular drill, whichever, and that's it. I also want to be able to put it either in the top portion of that box or slide it underneath the box without taking up too much room. So again, I do have a large box. I don't know if it'll fit on top, but I know it will fit underneath. So I need to be able to make it compact enough to fit where I need it. So with that, we are going to cut some pieces off of this, or I have cut some pieces off of this. I will go ahead and fabricate something a little bit what I'm thinking of, and I'll be right back and I'll show you what I came up with. And after that, we'll go ahead and build the real metal brake and go from there. Okay, see you then. Okay, so I came up with a design that'll work. It uses a 3.5-inch hinge. This basically, instead of the hinge being the regular way you buy it, you pull the pin out, you flip one side over, and then you put the pin back in. So if you look at it, one hinge is up here, one part of the hinge is down underneath. That way you can actually center the metal on the center of the hinge itself rather than the hinge being real high or real low. That way it bends right in the middle. So what I'll end up doing, it is cut pretty far out. For the reason why I did that is because I wanted to make sure I had room. I didn't have to go back and forth. But now that I have exactly where I need it, I can actually take measurements and transfer it onto the metal angle iron I have and trim it out and start the assembly process. So we'll go ahead and cut to that. Okay. Such a mess. Okay, so I have basically the pivot point for the metal brake done. I do need to build a stand which this is going to sit on, which I've already pre-drilled the holes right there, and a hold down fixture for the metal that goes inside this. So I have this, I have it drilled. Now I just need to basically put all three of these pieces together and then work on the handles. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick and I'll show you afterwards what I've done. So, okay. To show you some of the things I did, now it is all mounted up. I did do the handles a little bit differently. I was gonna put them just basically directly to the bottom, drill 2 holes, but it made it twist a little bit more. Then I had the idea of splitting it and actually having it sandwich this, but when you pulled it up, it got in the way where it wouldn't go any further than right about here. So what I ended up doing is cutting it down, and this gave me a flat spot on one side to actually have it more stable. That way it doesn't twist, and it gives me enough clearance where I can bend it over the 90-degree mark to basically get the shape I want. Now I'm never gonna have to go all the way over. If I do, I can always basically take this, flip it down so it's flat, so it will not hit this section. But when I have to do that, I'll modify this so I have to do it, or so I can actually accomplish that. Now the one issue I ran into that I know I'm gonna have is where this sits and this clamps down, it's gonna leave a crease in my metal. So what I'm gonna end up doing is getting a 1/8 inch piece of metal, flat steel or flat stock, and basically securing it underneath this piece with some nail or screws all the way through. Just flathead screws, kind of like this is, just small. It doesn't need to secure anything other than keep it from moving back and forth. So I will put that in here. I'll see how it works and show you after that. So to give you an idea, it does bend, it does work. These are the washers that we have that we're using to bend it, and it works fairly well. Now, the metal I'm going to use is not that thick. It's not going to be that thick, so it won't be that hard. We did do it one right about here, almost in the middle, and one right about here. So just tighten it down, do it, and go from there. So I'll get the metal, I'll put it in there, and then we'll see how well it works with the metal I buy for the bed. So, okay, see you then. Okay, to show you what I did, I ended up taking a 1/8 inch thick piece of flat stock, flat steel, and basically leveling it out. That way when I do put a piece of metal in here, it doesn't drop down and crease the metal right where this clamps down on. So I did make all these flush all the way down. I also added wing nuts on this, make it easy to adjust, tighten down, loosen up, and everything like that. So with that being said, I do not have the metal to bend it right now. I know it does work because I was messing with some other metal. But the metal for the truck, the place doesn't have enough currently right now due to COVID and everything going on, and basically everything with the world, I guess. It's hard to get some of the stuff, as anybody knows. A lot of things get delayed via mail, via production, stuff like that, due to the COVID and the pandemic. So bear with me. In a couple weeks, I will have the metal for this. I will work on it, and hopefully I have my bed made. So with what I wanted to do with this metal brake, I wanted to make it out of all material that I could purchase from the store. I did do that. Everything was purchased at one of either local hardware stores or lumber yards. You can take a guess on which one they are. And I wanted to make it under $200, which the reason that is, I could buy a 36-inch one for right around 200 bucks, a really nice one, or anything above that for 48 inches. It was very, very expensive. So this is 48 inches from basically this right here to the other side. It is 48 inches. It does bend at least 18 gauge steel. I know that because I was bending some other items, not on camera, but I will do that when I get my bigger sheet steel, 18 gauge steel. I also wanted to, well, yeah, I wanted to make it 48 inches. I did that. It's under $200. It fits under my toolbox, so that works perfectly. And all local lumber, all local stores. You know, everything you can purchase on this is just flat out local stores. I don't have to special order anything like that. And I can't remember what the other things were, but I will put them here on the side, what they were, and I will also put down in the link below, I will put a build list for all the items for the for this build down in the description below, and the cost of those items. That way you can see exactly how much everything costs. I will not put tax because tax is different in every state or every city, it seems like. So we'll leave that alone. You can kind of add your own tax to see how much it is. It still is well below $200 by a lot. So I hope you guys like this, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys learn to basically figure out what you need to build instead of paying someone an ungodly amount of money for something you need once or twice. You can make it yourself. So I hope you guys like this. Hope it was informative for you. If you do, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. There's more of this stuff and this stuff in the future. So again, hope you like it, and hope to see you next video. Thank you.